this little nappy dish. It's got the little house on it. 99 cents. Love the detail on the handle there. It's a thrifting day. I took a road trip with
Green Bee Explorer.
So we're doing a little mother-daughter thrifting. But before we go into the Salvation Army, and we're in Toledo.
I made breakfast sandwiches for us. They are egg, provolone cheese, and tzatziki sauce. Yep.
Yes.
Quickly popped them in the air fryer, and they are perfect.
Yes. So we are going to. I'm going to have a few bites, even if I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I'm going to have a few bites.
This is yours?
Yeah.
This is mine.
No, I get half. Before we go in to see what I can find to flip for a profit.
Flip for a profit. How is it?
Mmm. I think that's for like a real camera, not a cell phone. This M&M pumpkin Halloween decor was so cute, but I didn't put him in my cart. I thought this looked interesting. It says Fish Urban Cool Eyewear. It'd have to be awfully thin to fit in there. I did look it up. It doesn't go for a lot, so I left it behind.
I'm looking down here and I see these sets of mugs, coffee mugs, and it was just the tan line on the bottom that kind of caught my attention because that kind of looks vintage to me. It looks like it says Japan, and then but it has a modern barcode, and I'm like, well, I guess the 90s everything had a barcode on it now. So is this a 90s piece? Is it more vintage, less vintage? Tried to look it up. I'm gonna try again. Well, let me hold on to it. Got a little distracted with the one, and I completely missed the salt and pepper shaker. The pepper is the 3, the salt is the single one, and the bottom looks a little rough, the little corks, but I had to research this a little bit. O-N-E-A-S-O, or maybe E-N-E-S-C-O. I'll have to look that up, but we'll see what these go for. These look like modern plates, almost like a purchase from Amazon, but I could be wrong. I've always liked these. These are great for just as coasters, especially for parties. You put your giant ladle on there. A wood lantern. Nothing bad can happen with that. This caught my attention. It's a set. I think each one of them in there is different. Now, it is crazing a ton, so I don't know if that's just part of the aging or if it's being overused, but let me add that to the cart as well. Next to these vintage plates, I saw this ladle. Turns out, oh, and it has a measuring on it. 1/4, not ladle, oh my gosh, spoon rest. But it has this writing on the back, Lima, Ohio. So it's actually, from here. We're in Ohio right now. But it's plastic, and I tried to research a little, couldn't find anything, so I think I'm gonna keep it here. was looking down at these baskets, and the one that stood out to me was this one. It's a Tiffin, Ohio. It looks very similar to a longer burger. You know what? I'm gonna put this one in my cart. What did you find here?
Some restaurant wear. Love that design on it. Little Mayor China, Beaver Falls. Oh, and I also got this.
Oh, I always love those.
I know, I love those too for my plants.
Looking over here, I got really excited. I'm like, oh, look, I found one. And then Left Lane Finds informed me that the one you're looking for is international. In particular, you're looking for the Marmalade series. And so I was a little off. She knows a lot better than I do.
This little nappy dish. It's got the little house on it. 99 cents. Love the detail on the handle there. It's a little worn off on the back. This is cute too. I like the fruit on there. Again, can't quite make out the name on the back. That is adorable. This is me trying to make out the name on the bottom of that basket. This was a cute mug from Hawaii. Surf's Up.
Looking through some of these ceramics over here, I know as Green Bee Explorer, I hit the jackpot. They are little planters, perfect size for my propagated plants. And what I like is that they have the filter, the tray on the bottom, and the water can drip through. One thing I always do with my plants is I put a coffee filter at the bottom, so none of the dirt goes through, but the water can still go through. Any excess can filter out, but the filter also helps to pull back some of the excess water up into the plant itself and help it breathe.
So we did come prepared with boxes, canvas bags, packing material, blankets to get all of our finds home. So Green Bee Explorer found a couple of planters, and this is for me, and then the rest of the items are for resale. My total spend was $8.56. Loving the prices so far. That wasn't a big Salvation Army, but we were able to find a few things. My daughter and I had so much fun thrifting. She took a day off of work and we drove down to Toledo, Ohio, and we hit up so many thrift stores. Then we hit a couple in Michigan too. So this is the haul from the Salvation Army. Oh, make sure to subscribe to her channel. I'll be tagging it down in the description. Green Bee Explorer. This particular Salvation Army only had a few shelves with like hard goods on it, and the rest was clothing. There was an area for like wall hanging pictures and things like that, and then like electronics and pots and pans. And so these are the only items I got. Let's get this out of the way first. This is a plastic watering thing that you fill it with water and then you stick it down in your plants and then it slowly waters them. This is great for when you go on vacation, if you have house plants indoors, or if you have an outdoor plant that you're like, oh, it will die if it doesn't get watered, and you may or may not have somebody watering your plants. I use these mostly for my indoor plants. I have two glass ones, but now I have this one, which is plastic. I'm always on the lookout for these. 99 cents. That is mine. I'm going to put that aside. Now let's talk about what is left. So I only got those 4 items at this particular store, and I got so excited when I saw that big giant sign that said half off the whole store. it turns out I asked her about that, and she was like, no. She goes, it's based on the color tags or whatever, which I didn't have any of the color tags that were half price. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's okay. I didn't understand what that meant, but I guess the way they do their tags and then have their sales, it would create where half the store is always half price or something like that. It was very different from a Salvation Army locations that I've been to before. So they all are different, and you just go with it, right? So let's go with this first. My daughter found this little basket, and she goes, well, it looks like a Longaberger, but it isn't a Longaberger. It says Tiffin, Ohio here. It is just cute. 99 cents. And then it is signed. Let me do that. So it's signed. Is that Tess, maybe? Yeah, we'll go with Tess. 1999. And then down here, it took me forever to figure out what that said because the B is on top of the writing above it. Turns out that says maple tree. Maple tree baskets, hand woven in Zanesville, Ohio. So this is just a cute little basket. So I only paid 99 cents for it, and I think I'm in that, $8 to $10 range for this particular item. Has this cute little bow on it. I might put this up in one of my live sales, although with it saying Tiffin, Ohio, that is very specific. But we'll see. We will see. Now I found the other two items. We'll talk about this one first and then the restaurant wear. So this is just a little nappy dish. Nippon. It's got the little house. It's got the Moriage on it, right on the handle there. And then all these little dots. You can actually feel them with your finger. And then I'm not sure. I think that's just missing paint there. It's not a chip or anything. It needs cleaned up. It's still dirty. And then it's really hard to read the back of it. Yeah, really, really hard. I'm not even sure. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that's about the best I can do there. But you can see where it says Nippon right there, which means it was before 1920s. So this is like 100 years old now. Anything that says Nippon versus Japan, that's the Japanese word for Japan. And I like that it wasn't chipped or cracked or anything like that. And that's why I picked it up. And it was only 99 cents. I was loving the prices, which is another reason why I wanted to go to Ohio. The prices are better down there in a lot of the thrift stores. Not all of them. And we'll get to that in a bit. We hit up, I think, 6 thrift stores. So there's going to be 6 Thrift With Me videos. So stay tuned for that. And I think I can get maybe in that $8 to $10 range, maybe a little bit more for this. But I'm thinking in the $8 to $10 range for this particular item. So this is restaurant wear, and I just loved the pattern on it. I hadn't seen that particular pattern before. 99 cents. You gotta love that. It says Mayor China on the back. Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, USA, 161. This is one of these oval serving dishes or plates. Actually, like your lunch might come out on something like this or a sandwich, depending on what you would order. Of course, this is, people are describing this as ironstone. People do like to collect restaurant wear. They love it because it's so heavy duty. You can use it as display, but most people are actually using the restaurant wear because it is so heavy duty. It is just really good. It'll last you for a long, long, long time. You can put it in the dishwasher. So, I didn't pay a lot at that first thrift store. $3, well, $4 counting the item for me. All in, if I was to sell all 3 items, at the low end, maybe $28, thereabouts, up to like $35 roughly. Even though we had planned this trip where we'd have to travel down to Ohio, it wasn't that far away. I live in southeastern part of Michigan, so it's roughly 45 minutes or so down and back, and depends on time of day and what day you're traveling, all that. So I booked a live sale for myself. I thought, oh, we'll be able to do all of that, come back, have some dinner. And I thought, I'll have a live sale at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on knickknacks, knickknacks.net. I was so exhausted. I just didn't feel like it. And so initially I just pushed the live sale off to 10:30. And then I was like, what am I doing? I can barely keep my eyes open. And then the other thing I was thinking is like, oh, I should hurry up and wash these items up and get them into the live sale, which means I would have to take all the pictures and the description, all of that, along with like other items that I bought at the other thrift stores. I was way in over my head with that. So I was like, let me just reschedule that live sale, which I did, for Election Day, November 5th. And I thought, is that a good day to do it? Who knows? I'll have to let you know if I actually do that live sale and if I sell anything. And if I had to reschedule it, you'll find out in another video, or maybe tacked in somewhere in this video. It depends. What's not in the haul are these planters that my daughter found. These went home with her. She's going to clean them up and do what she said earlier in the video. She puts coffee filters in there and then puts the dirt in, because these are actual planters. Some of the other containers that she finds, she just sticks her pots right down in them. On her channel, Green Bee Explorer, she's always doing outside gardening. She has a bunch of plants on the inside. She has orchids. She's always propagating plants.